Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hey there, Carl Munson here. With I think it's episode 23 now. We're moving towards a month's worth of Stop the World, You Can Get Off. Meditation's made simple. And it's so interesting to me. I was thinking, what are the benefits of meditation? And the three things that came to mind immediately were self-observation, self-development, and self-respect. Which then begs the question, doesn't it? What is the self? Because the self is the cause of so much trouble for us as well. For example, earlier this evening, Thursday nights are a busy night for me. And we will get into some meditation. We'll do 10 minutes again today. But I just wanted to have a little bit of a preface here. Let me know what you think, carl@carlmunson.com. But Thursdays, busy night for me. I do a webinar, quite a big webinar, 100 people or something like that tonight, I think. And then a closer group, a more intimate setting after that for another hour. And then I had another meeting after that. And I had a treatment today whereby I just drifted. I became unconscious during this, as in sleeping, not as in I was knocked out. But what's the difference? I was unconscious in the sense that I was unaware of who or where I was. The system shut down. And I awoke twice from this treatment I was having, a healing treatment, by my own snoring twice. Okay, just like, where am I? Oh, I'm here. And back into the conscious awareness of where I was. And it arose in me, this what occurred to me was that our healing takes place in the unconscious. The most powerful healing takes place in the unconscious. Because when we ourselves are deciding, let's say, what's wrong with us and what we should do about it, I think that's such a limited view. That's not to say we shouldn't or wouldn't do that. But I really got a sense that for the profound benefit today of letting go and letting something else take care of it. Like we do every night. If you're saying, what nonsense are you talking, Carl? How can I just let go? Well, you do it every night. When your head hits the pillow with any luck, and I suspect, at least for some hours of the night, you're gone. You might be dreaming, but there are parts of that sleep where you are not there. You are unconscious, and you trust that process, don't you? Go to sleep in the hope that you'll wake up, and most times it's been true. Like every time it's been true so far, isn't it? There may come a day when it isn't, but that's a rare exception in the course of human life, literally. That we don't come back from the trust we put in going unconscious. And it just occurred to me, why don't we do that more often? Because the opposite, or the alternative to not trusting in the unconscious, where we allow ourselves to be refreshed in sleep and remade and knit up the unravelled sleeve of day, I think, as Shakespeare put it. The alternative is for us. Can you imagine if you were stayed awake constantly and your conscious mind, your thinker, was deciding what to do about how to manage being awake all the time? And anyone who's tried to do that will see that it's impossible because that thinking self becomes tired whilst it's trying to make decisions about what to do for itself. So clearly, to me, that means that our limited self, our partial self, our thinker, our judger, the person that apparently seems to run quite a lot of ourselves and life in modern life, is not our best faculty. And the deeper we go into the subconscious and into the unconscious, the more profound and powerful the effect of any kind of healing, of awareness, and so on. If we trust in that, great good can come from it. So, when we talk of the self, what is the self? The self is quite limited in so many ways, as in the individual self. And then, of course, there is the one self of all, on the other hand. And that's where I would say our attention goes as we let go in meditation. And that's what we're going to do now for 10 minutes, okay? So, feel the weight of your body on the chair, if you will. You see, because myself, before I did my work this evening, was saying, I'm tired. How am I going to do this? It's not going to work. And it was tired. It was coming up with all kinds of doomy scenarios. And my self-control, if you like, came up. And a part of myself didn't listen to that self. And that's what I've become better at doing as the years have passed. And not to take that so seriously. That crying, that whingy self of who says it's not going to work, I can't do this. Well, I could. I did. And I clung to habit in the instance where my thinking tired self might have been in control. I resorted to habit, and that's what I would recommend with meditation, is getting to the habit. Because if you leave it to your limited self to decide whether you meditate or not, it probably will give you a cop-out excuse. I'm too tired. I'll do more tomorrow. I don't think this is working anyway. All that whingy stuff. So let's go into it now. Let's just do it anyway, despite ourselves. And that part of ourselves, that physical part of ourselves, the body, we've got one of those, and it's on the chair right now, and we can be aware of its weight of the body, its weight on the chair. Oh, there you go. You got a body. And as I let the thinker, the judger, open out to my senses, I can hear shouting, actually, in the distance. I don't have to become concerned. There's no immediate danger. I can hear raindrops. And I can just be aware. I can be aware instead of engaged and attached to what's going on, as we are so often throughout the day. What's that? What do I need to do? What do I need to think? What do I think? What's my opinion about that? This is your rest from that. This is your peace from that right now for the next, I don't know, 8 minutes or so. Only 8 minutes. It seems like an eternity, doesn't it? Because the self is crying out, I can't do this. Why is he making me do this? And dear self, I don't want to bash you too much, but just easy. Calma, tranquilo. Take it easy, self. You haven't got anything to do for a moment. Just be, why don't you join me, self, in being aware of the breath coming in and out of the body. There's a good lad. Oh, I like this, says the self. I've read about this. I know about this, says the self. Mindfulness. This will make me look good, says the self. Until the self says, I've had enough of this now. Can we do something else now? Can we think about something else? No, self. We are just being aware of the breath entering and leaving the body. And we're going to do that for a few minutes now. Let's say, so that your self doesn't have to panic, let's say we're going to do this for another 6 minutes, okay? Just 6 minutes. Self, only 6 minutes that you can relax for. Take it easy and join me in coming back to the senses, to the sensation of the breath coming in and going out of the body, okay? 6 minutes, self. That's all. Come on, let's do it. And as yourself tries to pull you away, or does pull you away, just come back with your disciplined awareness pointing you towards, or your discipline pointing your awareness towards the breath coming in and out of the body. Just keep coming back to that, and I'll see you in 6 minutes. that might be 6 minutes there. I'm not entirely sure. There you go. I talked about being unconscious and unconsciously unconscious, where I went today when I was being the healing session. And they're in meditation. If we can get a sense that the unconscious is the place of the greatest creativity and healing, the darkness, the emptiness, the nothingness from where all things come and to which all things shall return, then to consciously be aware of that and to refine our conscious enjoyment and presence and being and awareness of it. How awesome is that? I can tell you that was pretty awesome and special. I was looking at the numbers on the clock at a point, and I could just hear my heartbeat, and I could see the numbers changing, and I defocused the meaning of the numbers, and there was just this great sense of, I was looking at a clock, a countdown, and there was a timelessness about the clock, which is quite amazing. So on it goes, that journey. And as I see my screen now, it just disappeared, but it's back again now. So I'll press the button and wish you well. And I'd love to know what is that? What do you make of that? What does that do to you? What does that do for you? And the self. What is the self? I'm talking to myself, talking about myself, the self, a self, oneself, ourselves here. What do we make of that? Bye for now. See you soon.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money. A Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.